Kellen, where are you as far as the install of the offense? Is it in at this point?
Yeah, you got a really good foundation at this point. Obviously, transitioning into preseason football here very soon. It kind of shifts gears into preseason focus. You get joint practices coming up, and so we got a lot of the core in now, and now it's just the adjustments within that. We've taken our first lap through it from training camp perspective, and now we make all the adjustments, whether it be scheme, personnel, all the fun stuff. We just keep building on it.
How much do you want under center to be a part of this offense? And when you have a formation that you might not use a lot, how do you make sure it's not predictable?
There's an aspect of that. Obviously, we want to have diversity in our presentations, and so that's something that certainly we're evaluating and presenting ourselves, and we'll just see where it takes us as we continue to evolve and build this thing throughout training camp. I mean, where we are now is certainly not where we're going to end up here in the next few weeks. We still got a number of weeks to kind of continue to build and evolve, and so that's the exciting part of this.
Looks like McKee has been getting a decent amount of second team reps lately. What's behind that?
Yeah, Tanner's doing an awesome job. Kenny's doing an awesome job. Really has two complete, independent things. It's not necessarily they're associated with each other. I think both those guys are having really good camps. Sometimes when you're a younger guy, sometimes we just like to put you in some different situations where you're with different guys on the field, whether it be with a second group or a first group, all those different things. You try and mix and match these things just to give yourself different perspective for these guys. And so Kenny's handled it awesome. Tanner's handled it awesome. It's been really good for these guys.
You guys made an addition to Nick Gates. How do you all feel about the depth along the interior, especially at center?
Yeah, obviously you're always looking to keep the depth down, particularly interior, because those are really, center is a very specific task. And so obviously having a guy of his experience, being able to play a bunch of football, a chance to bring him in, I think is a huge asset for us to just continue to, provide the depth there.
What have you learned about Jalen just through the first couple weeks of camp?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's done an awesome job just continuing to build and evolve with this thing as we go. And so, I think the communication has been critical. It's been awesome, his with the players, from player to player, but also just our collaboration as we continue to build this thing, getting good feedback on things we like, things we want to adjust, and continue to keep building that. And it's been a really fun task.
Kenny and Tanner, what would you like to see from them in the preseason game on Friday night?
Yeah, preseason games I think are all about operation. Smooth operation, making clean decisions, just moving the football. Circumstances sometimes change within preseason games. Understand those things, but just a clean operation and make great decisions. And what they've been doing out here is all we need. Come Friday.
You have receivers like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith will get a lot of targets this season. Does that affect how you would normally number how many you carry in the receivers?
As far as game operation?
How many you carry on a game day?
Yeah, that's really, there's a lot of aspects associated with that. Obviously, being an offense guy, we'd love to have, 10 receivers if we can, but obviously there's other positions. Special teams plays a big key part in this. Where can those, depth guys provide other roles for this team, whether it be special teams or somewhere else? And so, we'll certainly have those guys, and we'll have to rotate. It'll be a collective group behind those two, and we'll utilize all those guys.
Stan said the other day that he has looked at a lot of Cole Beasley as he's gotten ready for the season. Do you see that at all?
Yeah, certainly. Cole was an awesome player, obviously in Dallas. I played with him, and then when I transitioned to coaching, he was still playing there. And so Britt's done an awesome job. He's done a phenomenal job. He's taken advantage of opportunities, and like a number of these receivers, we're really excited about the depth that we have there. These guys have done a nice job of hopping in there, taking advantage of situations, and it's going to be a collective group, and we'll utilize all these guys. It's a long season. You need them all.
Where do you stand in regards to giving Jalen more or less in terms of freedom at the line to change plays?
Yeah, I think obviously it's a collective effort as we continue to build this thing and evolve. You want to utilize as many tools as you can while keeping them clean and clear for the entire offense. And sometimes it's not necessarily about Jalen, but it's making sure that all 11 are on the same page. And so he'll continue to have those tools. He's done an excellent job through camp of just utilizing different adjustments when he needs to, protections, routes, run game. He's doing a phenomenal job with this.
Are you still kind of in the evaluation process in terms of knowing what he can handle and what he can't handle, or do you think you have a pretty good handle on that?
He's doing an excellent job. He's really doing an excellent job with this. And again, when you get into game plan football, it evolves each and every week. Some weeks you need a lot, some weeks you don't need as much, and we can play ball, and it really depends on who you're playing against.
The lack of turnovers during training camp from Jalen in particular, what's that the product of?
Excellent decision, excellent preparation by Jalen. He's doing a great job with the football. He's still aggressive. He's still trying to get the ball downfield. He's trying to make plays. He's just making really, really good decisions. And, he's doing a nice job, and really the whole group as a unit. I think we've only had a couple, two maybe so far in camp. These guys are making really good decisions while still playing aggressive. They're not passive. They're not just taking check downs. They're getting the ball downfield, which is exciting.
Is there something about that collective at wide receiver, the group at wide receiver 3, for lack of a better term, you might have Britton in the slot, Johnny outside, maybe Ross's speed. Do you have to guard against, tendencies that this guy's on the field, we're going to do that? How do you handle that?
Yeah, certainly once you get to game plan football and you get into the regular season, you got to be really conscious of who's on the field and what those tendencies dictate. Sometimes you want to create tendencies for your own ability to trump them at later points, and so we'll continue to evolve and utilize all those different points. Whether it be who's on the field from tight ends, running backs, it's every single unit. We got to be really conscious of that just to protect our tendencies. And like I said, sometimes you want to have tendencies to break them in critical moments.
When you were in Dallas, how much when you were learning how to run an offense, how much were you taught by McCarthy, and how much were you kind of left to your own in terms of kind of figuring out how to do things?
Yeah, no, like any coach, we're continuing to evolve and grow, and you learn from each and every experience. Whoever you coach with, whoever I've played for, I've taken bits and pieces from all these different guys, and I've been fortunate to be around some really phenomenal mentors, different styles of football, and you kind of piece all those together and continue to evolve, and that's what we'll do out here as well as a group. We're continuing to evolve right now, and so that's the exciting part of this thing.
You've had mobile quarterbacks before, but probably not to the extent of Jalen. So as you build out the quarterback run game in the offense, what's your process there? Who do you lean on? How does that work?
Yeah, quarterback run game. Obviously, it's a phenomenal piece. Very prominent in college football. Certainly, there's aspects of it still in the NFL. It certainly gives you the extra numbers in the run game, but there's an awareness. NFL is long season, so we just got to be smart about it as we go. But we want to continue to utilize it as much as we can.
Kellen, you mentioned being pleased with the collaborative approach between Jalen and Cam in terms of handling pass protection at the line of scrimmage. What have you seen on that front throughout camp?
Yeah, constant communication. I love all the different side conversations after a drive. Those guys teaming up and just talking through, hey, I made this decision. What did you see? And it continues into the film room. And so these guys just continuing to talk, get on the same page. That's what this time is for. It's such a fun time to watch these guys continue to build this thing.
What has surprised you about this offense and this whole process, training camp, anything?
Surprises, I don't know if anything jumps out. I think, we just got a really smart, tough group. I think they do an excellent job of preparing the right way. Our guys can handle enough volume so we can be creative and utilize a number of different things. And so it's a veteran group. You can tell these guys understand ball. And so it's been exciting.
With Tyler seeing a young player who hasn't played right guard in the NFL for a brief stint, how much is the time that he missed affecting his ability to be the guy by the start of the season?
No one ever wants to be out this time of year, and those things are hard on every player. And so obviously everyone wants to do what they can to get back out there. We still have time. We still have time here, and so certainly we're excited about what the future will hold for him and give him more and more opportunities. And we'll just let this thing play out. Again, we're early August here, and we'll continue to let this thing go.
There's a track record of success here with the blocking concepts and the run game concepts from Jeff Stoutland. How is that? I don't know if it compares or contrasts to what you've done in the past, and how are you infusing that in your system?
Yeah, no, Stout's been awesome. Obviously, tons of great success for a long time here, and so stuff that we want to build off of. We want to be very conscious of making sure we build on all the good things that are going on here, and there's a ton of good, and continue to bring in different components and different adjustments, and that's not necessarily just my past, it's other coaches' past, it's other things that are coming across the league, and so we're constantly trying to evolve and find, okay, what's the next thing that we can build on.
Lane said he'd like to have some time to have kind of like the set offensive line, kind of have some time to work together. Do you have like a target date in mind that you'd like to have, or as you get close to the season for what you'd like to?
No target date right now. Obviously, anytime you can get those guys working together, obviously, like Lane said, that's a critical aspect, just the communication. Those guys got to be aligned, but we'll just let it play out, and we'll see when it hits us.
Are you and Vic competitive about the results of practice?
No, Vic's awesome. I think what's really good is he challenges you each and every day, and especially when we get into these situations where we get to call it. It's really good training for all of us. It's really, really good, and the feedback's really good after practice when we can kind of talk about things that happened, and so it's been a really good process.
Kellen, Friday's the first time that fans are going to get a chance to see your offense work. In your mind, when it's working right, what happens?
just playing clean, efficient football. We have the ability to run and pass, and so we'll continue to build this thing. We'll see how we present this thing come Friday.